sitting. Can you guys hear me okay? I know we've been sitting a lot. So if anyone does need to stand and stretch out, no problem. But just stand. Don't like leave the hall. Just stand in the back. No issue. Might give you a better vantage point as well. So Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So if you guys haven't figured out yet, my name is Mohkam Singh. This is Himmat Singh. And so, big surprise, we're going to be talking about Gurmat Sangeet. We'll try to make this interactive. So if I ask you guys a question, just shout it out. So who knows what Gurmat Sangeet means? Let's break it down. What does Gurmat mean? Anything that comes to mind. Just shout it out. Guru's thinking. Anyone else? What does Sangeet mean? Who's been to a Sangeet? Yeah, we've all been to a Sangeet. So Sangeet literally just translates to music, right? But if you just look at Sangeet, that's just music, but now we're adding Gurmat to it. We're adding Guru's lens to it, Guru's thinking to it. And so all of Gurbani is framed around how do we actually present the Gurbani in Kirtan form, which is the form that it's come into this world, right? Into our realm, right? So some of the instruments that you'll see on the screen right now are instruments that you'll see nowadays that are played with Kirtan, right? Obviously we know Vaja, Tabla, sometimes you'll see a guitar, right? Chene, that's like everyone's favorite, right? Bang that really loud. So these are instruments that you'll see today, right? But I want you guys to put your mind in what Kirtan was like during the physical Guru's times, right? Guru's number 1 to 10, right? Guru Nanak Dev Ji to Guru Gobind Singh Ji, what that Kirtan was like, right? So I want everyone to close your eyes. I'm going to do a quick exercise. Everyone close your eyes. Imagine, so we're going to picture Darbar side, the golden temple, right? We're going to imagine what that Kirtan, what that mahal was like, what that environment was like. One easy thing, right? Do we have electricity in there, right? In Darbar side. Has electricity been invented? Do we have mic systems? Who is doing the Kirtan? Picture who is doing the Kirtan, right? I've heard from some Ragis that have passed on, that have this lineage passed down, that essentially they said you'd have to like fight for a spot in Darbar side, in that Hazuri, right next to Maharaj. You'd have to get there hours and hours before just to reserve your spot, essentially, right? Because also the Kirtan might not be that loud too. Now we have mics and we're fortunate enough to, I can whisper something here and someone on the corner of the room can hear it. But now we don't have that, right? So we'll get to how our instruments were actually designed with this in mind, right? Now everyone can look at the screen. So I don't know if you guys knew this, but the gold on the actual Hanmandir side was not added during Guru's times. This was added during Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji's time, right? So some of these pictures depict some of the older styles of what Darbar Sahib might have looked like, right? So anything that sticks out to some of these photos of people doing Kirtan, maybe the instruments that they're using, maybe the actual environment of Darbar Sahib, right? If you look at the bottom right photo, right? I think, like, I see a rabab, I see a jodi as well that we'll talk about, that we have here as well. And at that time, you might have not just one dilraba player, not just two, but you might have a whole jatha of like 10 almost, right? If anyone has seen Namdari Kirtan, and we'll talk about that maybe later, they have a whole jatha of maybe like 13, 14 people on stage. Because now you need to project that sound out. You don't have the luxury of a mic system, right? Same thing with the jodi, we'll talk about this as well. You have to really hit this hard in order to project that sound out, okay? So these are some of the instruments that our gurus used and even made themselves. Imagine making an instrument yourself, right? The amount of creativity, the amount of knowledge that you need to know about probably woodworking, being musically talented, right? Our Guru Sahibs made instruments multiple times. So what's the first image on the left, top left? Everyone say it out. Dilra. This is probably the most common, it's sitting right in front of you as well, probably the most common Gurmat Sangeet related instrument. What's the next instrument to the right? Very good. Saranda. Does anyone know which Guru Sahib made this instrument? Very good. Guru Arjan Dev Ji, fifth Guru, right? They actually made this instrument, and I actually have rarely seen or even heard it being played. There's only a couple main players playing this instrument. So if you're sitting in the Sangat, even if you have no idea about Gurmat Sangeet, let's have a maybe purchase some sarande and try to actually try to learn, try to find an ustad somewhere. Let's try to revive these things, right? The next instrument. So that's Professor Kirtan Singh, right? I'm looking at the third image on the top row. Anyone know what instrument that is? You guys are pros. That's a tanpura. That's what this drone sound is. If you guys hear this, you can hear it. Now we just have it on our phones, but that's a huge instrument. It's hollow. It's very light actually. It looks big, but all you do is pluck the 4 strings and you get a drone sound like this, right? I've been told that Guru Gobind Singh Ji, one of their main ways of doing kirtan was just sitting in darbar with a tanpura and that's it. And that's actually how we should all learn. Even me, like we just kind of focus on avaja right away. The best way to learn, if I could go back and relearn, just be learning your sud and learning how to sing just with this drone sound, okay? What's the next instrument on the right? If we're going down now, bottom right, what instrument is that? I heard a couple. Bottom right, that's called a pakavach. Can you guys say pakavach? Pakavach is actually the instrument that came before the jodi. If you see the similarities, essentially you took the pakavach and you cut it in half, and then you brought both halves on top. That's where the tabla comes from. But if you move that to the side, then you have a pakavach in the bottom right. Does anyone know which Guru Sahib actually was instrumental in changing the pakavach to the jodi? So the bottom right to the top right image. Anyone know? Guru Arjan Dev Ji. I don't know if someone said it. So very good. During Guru Arjan Dev Ji's time, the pakavach was changed to a jodi. Then in the picture with three ragis, we have a taus from right to left, taus, sarangi, and another jodi. It's a little smaller, and then a rabab. I actually looked up. I think some historians have figured out. I looked up Guru Arjan Dev Ji's rabab that they actually had, and that's what historians are saying that's it. You can take it with a grain of salt, but that's the style of rabab that was played by either Mardana Ji or during Guru times. So, just to briefly mention, right? So during Guru Nanak Dev Ji's times, there were 3 main forms of kirtan. There was a darbari, bazari, and nirankari. So darbari was a darbar where you would go to a raja and try to impress them. You would sing for their enjoyment, almost as entertainment. You were only impressing. The lok, bazari one, the second form, was more of, let's say, farmers, let's say lower caste or lower socioeconomic status. Those members who knew maybe more Sangati kirtan or more Sangati hymns at the time, right? Then Nirankari is the ones that only sang for devotion, only sang their heart out in very simple structures, and we'll display one today. But Guru Nanak Dev Ji fits right in, or the kirtan that Guru Nanak Dev Ji brought into this world is a mix of bazari and nirankari, available to everyone, but also margi, it's to put you on the marg of finding a God Guru, to find Vaheguru. That's what the music is for. Does everyone know what Raag means? I know we all hear Raag, right? We've heard the term before. Does anyone know what Raag, the Hukamnama, was in? It was the first word that we read. Suhi. Very good, right? It's the first word we read. Like, do we even know what it means? Even before you get to the Mahalla, even before you get to the Gurbani, now you're reading the Raag. Do we even know what Suhi sounds like? Do we even know the different types of Suhi? There's different Suhi Lalit, for example, right? We'll go into that, but Raags are really like an endless. It's an ocean. It's very deep. I'll bring up this one plate and food analogy, right? Because oftentimes we'll say, all you have to do is sing with love, and Kirtan is Kirtan. I actually heard that today. Someone told me, Kirtan is Kirtan. And I don't disagree at all. I'm actually for that, right? All Kirtan is amazing, right? But if we look at Gurbani as being the food, right? How we present that food, how we present that meal, the utensils, how we plate it, right? The napkin, the placement, that's where the Kirtan, that's where the Raag, the instruments, the Sangeet comes in, right? At the end of the day, the food is most important, right? But we're not just going to throw food on a table and be like, eat this, right? We're going to present it in the cleanest way possible with as much sadqat, as much respect as we can, right? So at the end of the day, again, Gurbani is the most important, but it's the way we present it, right? And also, I've heard this idea of, oh, just sing with love, it doesn't matter. Love, the definition of Raag is love as well. It's not like Guru Sahib is saying Raag and Gurbani, you pick one. They're supposed to go together. They're giving you like a tool to essentially, you use this Raag to evoke the emotion that I'm trying to convey in this. And Gursikhs and also Darbar Sahib specifically had a very high standard of singing. Some of these Kirtanis, does anyone know who's playing the Suranda? The top? Sant Baba Sham Singh. Very good. Does anyone know how old Sant Baba Sham Singh lived to? Say it loud. I think it's around 123. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. They did Kirtan at Darbar Sahib for over 70 years, and they had so much power in their Kirtan. There was one small story. There was a drought in Punjab at the time. A bunch of Gursikhs went to Sant Baba Sham Singh. Sant Baba Sham Singh did ardas to Guru Sahib Maharaj, and he sang Malhar. Malhar is usually a Raag that comes with a rainy season. And because there was a drought for such a long time, he sang Malhar, and during that Hazri for, let's say, an hour, it poured like anything in Punjab. Rained like crazy, only when he was singing. Right when he did Samapti, then it stopped raining. This is the power that Raag actually has when added to Kirtan. Okay? And some other lineages are there. I don't want to dive too deep into it, but I'll talk about the one image on the right. Does that look like a Sikh by today's definition or no? The top right image. Does anyone know who that is? Yeah, Bhai Taba. Bhai Taba was actually a Muslim, and pre-partition he was one of the Hazuri Ragis at Darbar Sahib. He would do Kirtan. He was in one of the cycles of all the Jathe doing Kirtan at Darbar Sahib, and then obviously partition, then SGPC, everything later. Now we're saying only Sikhs can do Kirtan essentially. But before partition, we had Muslims, not mainly, but a good amount doing Kirtan. More than 40% of the people doing Kirtan in the hall, in Darbar Sahib, were actually Muslim. So I talked about some of these as well, right? 95% of Shabads are written in a Raag. You have to read a Raag before you get to the Shabad. This is the first thing. I've always thought about this. Couldn't Guru Sahib have put the Raag at the end? They could have easily just said, oh, after you read the Shabad, just sing it in Sodak. Like, just we'll put it at the end. They could have also, you don't have to read it in front of every Shabad. You could have just put it maybe in, because Guru Granth Sahib Ji is divided by Raag. It's not like you can just open Guru Granth Sahib Ji and find a specific theme, right? Essentially, if it's divided by Raag, you could have just, Guru Sahib could have just put one Raag at the beginning, the Sarlek at the beginning, and then not mention it every single Shabad. But there's a reason, there has to be a reason for it, objectively. Then, not only Raags, then we have Mishrat Raags. Who read Suhaila Sahib today, or yesterday? Everyone's hand should be up, right? Raag Godi Purbi, Raag Godi Deepki. These are very complex Raags that we need hopefully we will understand one day, right? This is a Mishra Raag, it's a Godi and Purvi, Godi and Deepki, right? So Mishra Raag is now combining different Raags. And Guru Sahibs are creating this environment. Does anyone know which Raag Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji created? Jai Javanti. It's at the end of Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and only has 4 Shabads, only by Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. Now they're creating Raags as well. Obviously we focus on so many different aspects of Guru Sahib, but the fact that they were so musically talented, musically inclined, It baffles me. Just really quick, we'll look at the bottom pankti because I found this very interesting. This is more on the spiritual side, right? Who's heard of Anhad Shabad before or Panch Shabad? Everyone. It's in Anand Sahib. It's in when we read Anand Sahib before Das, right? At the end of a program, Vaje Panch Shabad Kar Sabage, right? Vaje Anhad Ture, right? If you read the last pankti, Rabab Pakhavaj Tal Gunguru Anhad Shabad Vajaye. This is only my opinion, but if we're trying to get to a state where eventually we're able to connect to Anhad Shabad, to Panch Shabad, these sounds that our mind, because it's so loud, we don't hear right now, but eventually we hear, and Guru Sahib has experienced that, and they want us to experience it, why not create an environment where we have these instruments to connect us back to those sounds? Rabab, Pakhavaj, Tal, Gunguru, these are all different Panch Shabad, different sounds you hear on your spiritual journey as your mind becomes so quiet. Once we're able to achieve that stage, right, then we can hear these sounds, right? So Guru Sahib is creating these instruments in order for us to connect back to those sounds.
All right, so we're gonna talk about what's in front of me right now. So you guys we went through the demonstration at the beginning. It's called a jodi, right? So what are some things that looks different from a tabla that we've been playing in Kirtan since the start of camp? Like what are some qualities or something that stands out that looks a little bit different? Yeah. It's bigger, yes. This thing is like half my body size right now. Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys look at this, right? So this is like the bass sound of the jodi, right? So it doesn't have the black part. Does anyone know what the black part is called? Yeah, it's called a shiai, right? So it doesn't have the black part, all right? And to replace that, we use atta. The purpose of atta is to make a more deeper sound, like a dunga sound, right? To provide that bass, because, I mean, I'm not really like a jodi player. Mohkam's actually an amazing jodi player, so forgive all my mistakes today. Like I'm nothing compared to this guy, right? So atta creates the deeper sound compared to like a duggi. A duggi is a little bit more tight. This is more like a very like bassy kind of sound. And also the diameter of this is way bigger than a regular tabla that you probably see. This tabla also makes a deeper sound. And if you guys look at the pictures, right, like we initially started with the pakhavaj, right, and you can kind of see like it was kind of like split in half, right, into a jodi, and then we came down to a tabla, all right. All are used for different purposes, right. In Puratan style Kirtan, right, jodi was most common, and I don't know, add anything else? That's basically it for the jodi. I'm going to be playing the jodi today, so. Yeah, so, oh yeah, and yeah, I'm just gonna put the atta on. It's like, you like roll it on. I'm not making a roti here, like I'm just putting it on. All right.
So yeah, so you guys can all observe Himmat putting the atta on. So there's something called the Gurmat Sangeet Shabad Chonki. So this is usually the first Shabad that any Ragi Jatha would sing. And you guys, if anyone has done Himkund before, the Kirtan competition, right? You probably had to do a good amount of these things, right? So one is Ashan. It's usually just the instrumentals, no kirtan at all. The meaning behind this was everyone enters the sangat, everyone's minds become stable first. It's not like everyone comes in and we get right into the gurbani. We bring a shan first. We bring everyone's dhyan to the kirtan first, or to the saj, to the instrument, to the sounds. Usually the shan, nowadays you'll hear people playing very complex shans on usually an instrument. It was actually very simple. They're not meant to impress anyone. Usually, the saj will be very simple, and then the jodi player will usually play more intricate compositions. So we'll do that for you as well, and we'll also demonstrate a Drupad Shabad. This is, I guess, number 3 on the list. This is just to give a small idea of what Kirtan might have been like back in the day. This is still sung nowadays. It's not as prevalent, but this reed means this. Composition was passed down from the Namdari tradition, which is passed down from Bhai Tabaji, which I showed you an image before of the Muslim tradition. All these are now documented in books as well as recordings that we have. And then you'd usually end in a qawri. So we'll walk through a So this is chartal, bowls. Bowls means tabla notes essentially, right? So we're all going to try this together. Who knows chartal? Very good. So we're going to go at this tempo. And essentially you say dha, dha, dhin, ta, kit, dha, dhin, ta, tit, kat, ta, gha, di, ghin. Dha, dhin, ta, tit, kat, ta, gha, di, ghin. Pause. How many beats are in charta? 12. So essentially what we're doing is every clap or every noise is one note. So on the 5th beat you have kitta. So now you're saying kitta on one beat. Then 9, 10, 11, 12, now you have two sounds there. Titta, katta, gha, di, gin. Right? So, actually you want to demonstrate again? Or you can just play it.
So I'm gonna play Janta, what he just said. All right, I'm gonna translate it to the playing. All right. So try to imagine it in your head. All right.
I'll say it. I'll say it.
3, 2, 1.
Dha, dha, hin, ta, kit, dha, hin, ta, tit, kat, ta, gha. You guys now, say it. So, right before we get into the Shabad, I'll play a little bit of Kalyan. You guys can try to close your eyes. Often I'm asked, oh, what emotion are we supposed to experience for Raag? It's like, what are we supposed to feel? The best way is you listen to it and you tell me. I really don't know. Everyone feels something different, but the whole point, it's like, how do I tell you, tell me what happiness feels like? It's like, you can't, right? So, close your eyes or don't, but this is Raag Kalyan, okay? Let me know if you can hear it. Can you hear it? that was actually more of a shan. Now we'll display a Drupad Shabad. The Shabad is, and repeat after me, Gunanad Tun, Anand Bed, Kathat Sunat Munajana, Milasant Mandali. So Himmat will keep a char tal tempo going. Okay? And so on the left you'll see Dogun, Digun, and Chogun. These are essentially different styles of singing back in the day where they would essentially double, triple, and quadruple the way of singing. The shabad within the tal, and then you'd have to find the sum or find the the first note of the tal in it. So if you want to start char tal, slow. We're at 9. Now we're going to try to double it, so we're going to say it twice. Tha, tha, din, tha, git, tha, din, tha, dit, gata, gati, gin, tha, tha, din, tha, din, tha, dit, gata, gati, gin, tha, like that. So, does that make sense, everyone? We doubled what we did, right? But now you can also do it in threes. So now you'd have to say tha, da, din, all on one beat. So we're going to go right into threes, okay? Da, ga, di, gin. Da, da, din, da, git, da, din, da, dit, gata, ga, di, gin, da, da, din, da, git, da, din, dit, gata, ga, di, gin, da, da, din, da, git, da, din, da, dit, gata, ga, di, gin, 1, 2. So we said that thing now in threes, and we did one cycle of Jata. Let's try 4 now, okay? 3, 2, oh, you said. So now we have to say tha, da, din, da, all on one beat. Let's try it. Tha, da, din, da, kit, da, din, da, dit, kata, ga, di, gin, tha, da, din, da, kit, da, din, da, dit, kata, ga, di, gin, tha, da, din, da, kit, da, din, da, dit, kata, ga, di, gin, tha, da, din, da, kit, da, din, da, dit, kata, ga, di, gin, 1. So this is the complexity. We're just saying the bowls. Now we have to do that with the shabad. So we'll try to demo that for you. now you have to add a tihai, or something that you repeat now 3 times to land on the sun. So now you're speeding up the section. Okay? So now we'll introduce teen tal as well. We'll go through a quick shabad. We have a little bit of time, and the best way to learn Kirtan is just to sing it, right? So we're all going to try to sing it together, okay? So let's learn teen tal. Teen tal has how many beats in it? 16. This is one of the most common tals that you'll hear in Raag Kirtan nowadays.
Alright, so try to count to 16, or you can say the beats on the screen. Alright, so 3, 2, 1.
Now we're at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's try double. Say double. So now we know the tal. Let's bring the raag in. So we already know the raag. It's kalyan. We'll bring the scale down a little bit, just so it'll be easier for everyone to sing. So we'll do some warm up, okay? In Kalyan, there's one note that's different. Does anyone know what that note is? That's different than a shud scale, like a normal balala scale. The ma. So if you guys are familiar with sharps and flats, sharp notes and flat notes, the ma is now sharp. So it's ma tiva is what we say, okay? So what I wrote at the bottom is an exercise that fits into teen tal or 16 beats, so I'll have Himmat playing teen tal, and we'll all try to sing it together, okay? So essentially we do, everyone sing with me. Ni, re, ga, ma, and we skip pa. So the ma, da, ni, sa. Now, and then we hit re, sa, ni, da, pa, ma. Okay, so we're going to sing. Everyone. Everyone loud, even if you've never sung before. We should hear the whole hall. I still can't hear you. Again. Let's try double now. You ready? Again. So if you've heard of the shabad, this is a very common shabad, Mere Lalani Ki Shobha. It's sung a little different from the way I know some of the other beats, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to follow this notation at the top. So essentially what this notation means is, we start the shabad on the 9th beat, because in teen tal we have 16, so you see 16 markers. You see 16 markers in gray at the top. We're going to start on the 9th beat. I wasn't able to edit in this a low octave and a high octave, so you guys will have to figure that out, but I'll walk you through it. So we're going to start teen tal. 2, 3, 4. We're going to start on the 9th. So we're going to start on the 9th. I'll sing it one time, you sing it after, okay? this sa ni, we just don't do sa ni. We want to do a mean. The mean is when we blend it. And this is something that's amazing about the Dilruba or any other saz that Guru Sahib has still created. So Guru Sahib has still created this, has created instruments like this that we can do a mean or a blend of notes. Sa ni da ni ba ba. Make sense? You can even delay on the ninth beat a little bit. Sa ni da ni ba ba ga ma pa de ga re sa. Sa ni da ni ba ba ga ma pa. Let's try the next line, just the notes. Ni re ga ga ma ba ba re re sa. It's fast. Ni re ga ga ma ba ba re re sa. So if there's any confusion, now we're saying ga ma and ma, ga ma pa pa. Okay? And so we're saying two notes on one beat. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll wait till 9. Ni, re, ga ma ba ba re sa. Ni, re, ga ma ba ba re. Do I have a time? I think I'm good. Re, ga, re, sa, ni, da, ni, ba, ba, ga, ma, pa. I want you guys to sing. Next line. Loud, loud. Get out all that energy. It's a good release of energy. Let's try an antara now. We're gonna start here. You guys? We're here, right? Again. Next line. So here, there's a dash ga and a dash ba, if you notice that. So you sing it sort of a little late. Ready? So the ga starts a little late. Don't ever say you can't learn Raag. You guys have all learned it to some extent. So now we're going to add the shabad. Ready? It's in blue. The ba comes late. Again. and then the comes on the sound, the first beat. See, the, da, ni, sa, ni, re, sa, ma, ma, ga, ma, ma, da, ma, da, da, ni, sa, ni, re, sa, Shabad. Brahma, he, sa, si, the, muna, in. Everyone loud. Brahma, he, sa, si, the, muna, indra. Again. Brahma, he, sa, si, the, muna, indra. Next time. Agat, dana, jas, mangi. Agat, dana, jas, mangi. We'll try that whole antra again. Brahma, Mahesa, Siddha, Muna. Louder, louder. Brahma, Mahesa, Siddha, Muna, Indra, Agat, Dana, Jas, mangi. Agat, Dana, Jas, mangi. tell you that Raag is difficult to learn. At a point it is, right? It depends how we look at it, right? It shouldn't be difficult to start, right? This took only 15 minutes of just focusing on the shabad, walking through the notes, easily singing, and with other people as well, right? With other Sangeet members, right? Reminder, I don't think I mentioned this, but Avaja is not a Sikh instrument, right? It was brought in after colonialism by the British. It's a German instrument, right? You can't do... You can only hit the keys or maybe hold two at the same time. You can't do a proper mean is what it's called. You can't do a proper blend of notes, okay? So obviously these instruments take time to learn, but you have to start somewhere. And with the Kirtan, right? We can play these instruments. We can sing Raag Kirtan as well. And again, it's not like Raag is on one side and Gurmat is on the other. They go hand in hand. Guru Sahib is giving us, I think about it like a technology. They're giving you like a formula, almost like resources. Like imagine like you're taking a test and you have like a cheat sheet. I know in college, like some of you guys are probably in college or going to college, like they'd allow us to they'd give us a cheat sheet to write some notes on that you could bring in on your test. It's almost like an aid to you. It's a guide to you. But what's the final goal? Connecting with the shabad, right? You want to connect with the meaning, connect with the shabad, and become lean, become immersed in the Gurmani, using Raag as a method or technology. So with that, I think we'll conclude. Thank you guys so much. Apologies for any mistakes. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. You guys are dismissed.